Good evening. Thank you for your patience. I am Marco Bracamontes, founder and president of the Houston Tampico Sister Cities Association, the hosting organization for this opening ceremony. Welcome to the Mexican, the American, the British attendees, the Australian members of the audience, and everybody else as well. This show depicts a period of hard work and collaboration between people of various nations working together and enjoying a very successful part of our history together. Welcome to a show that is a collaboration of many, many people, and the outcome or something that was possible because of our great sponsors, our great corporate sponsors who are here tonight celebrating our common history. Welcome to all elected officials, members of the Consular Corps, members of our sister cities organizations. Harry G., our president and dean of the sister cities, is with us. Right here. Here's Harry G. I would like to, give a round of applause of those representatives from city government and Mexican government that are present here, please. First and foremost, I'd like to thank our corporate sponsors. In first place, BHP Billiton, Alpha Deep Water Services. Alpha Deep Water Services is a technical consulting in the areas of exploration advisory services, drilling, program management, and development project design and management. We want to thank Marcos y Asociados, BDO, okay, Rodríguez Dávalos Abogados, and the City of Houston, Hines, the hosting real estate company. Thank you very much, and again, another round of applause for our corporate sponsors. Santa Fe Natural Gas is also one of our main sponsors. I don't see any representative here, but we want to thank them for their support. Let's start our program with Council Member, District I Council Member, City of Houston, Robert Gallegos. He represents a very important part of our city, including downtown and part of the industrial city, industrial corridor, including Hobby Airport. Please, Robert.
Good evening. Just want to welcome all of you here, those that are visiting to the City of Houston, of course, on behalf of Mayor Turner and my colleagues on City Council. I also want to thank Marco for doing an outstanding job. Thank you so much. It's amazing just walking around and seeing all these photos. I know that that my parents were from Mexico. I'm the first generation American. They arrived from Mexico in the 1920s. And a lot of these photos, my father was born in 1907, my mom in 1913. So a lot of these photos are from back in that period. And to see the amazing intertwine between both countries, the United States and Mexico. And unfortunately right now there's a lot of rhetoric in regards to Mexico and Latin America and what have you. But to look at all these photos and to see that way back when both of our countries were basically working together in finding oil and trying to develop our countries. For some reason that just has been lost, unfortunately, to some individuals up north in DC. But again, something like this is something that makes us all proud to know that We are from Houston. We are also from the world energy capital of the world. And to see that Tampico, Mexico, at that time was also going to become a major player in energy. So therefore, that's why we are sister cities, Tampico and the city of Houston. So again, I just want to thank Marco once again and everyone that had part in this exhibition. It's very nice, very informative, very educational, and thank you so much for being here this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Without further ado, we're going to ask our chairman of Houston Tampico Sister Cities and Harris County Attorney Vince Ryan. He has been one of our most important supporters, and he has really given us the vision to follow in this organization. Vince.
Well, let me just thank Marco for all he's done. Marco and I met probably now 15 years ago when I heard him use the word Tampico when he was talking to Ray Childress, the football player. And he and I started talking, and we realized, of course, he's from Tampico. My father's family lived in Tampico for a period of time, and one of my uncles lived in Tampico till he passed away. And I first went to Tampico. My father was youngest of 9 to check on that uncle. And that's when I first started learning about the oil industry in Mexico and the history of the oil industry in Mexico, how important it was and is even more so today to us in this region. So through that, I ended up going to graduate school, doing a master's thesis on the history, and working with Marco, bring awareness of how important these relationships are between Houston and other cities. And I can't think of one more important, especially now with Mexico's tremendous effort to open up its oil industry after many, many years. We here in Houston can be among the greatest beneficiaries of the new opportunities in Mexico. And our Houston-Tampico Sister City relationship is one of those vehicles to show that we appreciate, not just want to make money, but we appreciate the history of Mexico, the history of Tampico, and the history of the oil industry in Mexico. So thank you all for coming today. Please enjoy the occasion. Please look at all the photographs, and hopefully we'll be having these for many years to come. Thank you.
Now, please welcome Mr. Neil McCormick, BHP Billiton President, Vice President of Exploration. Neil.
Thank you, Marco. Buenas tardes. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the distinguished guest, and thank you very much for the invite to speak this evening. I'm delighted to be here to celebration of art, history, and culture. And Marco's just done me the pleasure of actually giving me a tour and actually bringing the personal piece of his history into it and showing me the role his grandfather played. And I think that actually speaks very well to what the future looks like as well. So I'll probably try and link this a little bit from the past and bring it through to where we're going in the future. So I really would like to congratulate the Houston Tampico Sister City Association and thank them very much for what they've done. It's a very powerful way of engaging and telling the story of working together and telling the history that's behind a lot of this town and a lot of Mexico and what that can mean to us as a community and as an immigrant myself, what it means to the building of this city. As a title sponsor, BHP Billiton is incredibly proud to have been asked to be part of this. At BHP, building long-standing, sustainable relationships is integral to who we are as a company. Although Australian by birth about 130 years ago, our perspective is international. We're among the world's largest producers of major commodities: iron ore, copper, uranium, coal, and of course oil and gas. Our strategy is to own and operate large, long life, low cost, expandable upstream assets diversified by geography, commodity and market. So rather than just being a spiel about how great BHP Billiton is, why is that important? Well, it's important because of the commitment that we're taking when we move into a new country, and that the commitment that we've taken on in the very recent past with joining Pemex in a partnership in the deep water on Trion. We really do believe that we are continuously driven to seek business opportunities that are long-term, sustainable, and mutually beneficial. And I think that they echo some of the words that we've already heard this evening. We are incredibly proud to be part of this journey. And we're incredibly proud to be part of what we hope is the next 100 years. And I would like that Marco's grandson, or great-grandson, is telling the same story here in 100 years' time. We are excited about bringing our expertise, not just from the oil and gas operations, but from our group of operations around the world, to Mexico. We have a fundamental commitment to our core values that are enshrined in our charter. And it includes the value of sustainability, not just includes it, it is the first value. As well as putting health and safety first, what it really looks at is being environmentally responsible and making a positive contribution to the communities, be they Mexico, Tampico, Houston, that we're part of and that we live in. The work we do is not just important in building a business, but the economic growth that it creates builds countries and builds those long-term bonds between regions, between Houston, Tampico, between Australia, Mexico, and the US. What matters to the people of Mexico matters to us. If it doesn't, we don't have long-term sustainable relationships. We're not somebody that you want there for 100 years. So, es un placer estar aquí con todos ustedes esta tarde. Por favor, disfruten de la exhibición. And please excuse my Spanish. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mark.
I would like to introduce Council Member Carla Cisneros, District H, City of Houston, who wants to say just a few words.
Well, good evening to all of you. Welcome to our city. We're so happy to have this conference here, to have each of you here, and I really appreciate the opportunity to have this exhibit about Mexico and the oil and the that we all have in common. So I just wanted to greet you and welcome you, and I hope you enjoy your stay and make a lot of good connections with each other and with us while you are in our city. Thank you.
Without further ado, I would like to introduce a great friend, a great attorney, a great energy attorney from Mexico City, Mr. Jesús Rodríguez Dávalos, quien es one of our sponsors. Please, Jesús.
Gracias, Marco. It's an honor to keep working with you. This is the fourth year of many exhibitions that we've sponsored. At Rodríguez Dávalos Abogados, being practicing energy law for a little bit more than 20 years in Mexico and Central America, for us it's very important to be able to help Marco and his team in this wonderful exhibition of the Mexican oil history. I hope that in the future we can see in your archives photographs of projects like BHP and other of everything that is happening in Mexico. So I hope that you still invite us to be a part of this effort, and welcome and enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jesus. Next, we have another great friend representing BDO Mexico, Mr. Lujan La Barthe.
Thank you very much, Marco. Hello, everyone. For those who maybe don't know much about BDO, we're the 5th largest accounting and consulting firm worldwide. Some of the services that we provide to companies doing business in Mexico, we help them with their back office activities. Mexico is a very formal country, and we therefore provide accounting, tax compliance, payroll, and treasury services. I'm very happy to be living back in Houston. This is a wonderful city. My family and I are very excited to be here. Lots has been said, so I'm just gonna briefly sing a little Mexican song for you. De la Sierra Morena, cielito lindo, vienen bajando un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo de contrabando. Some of you may know it. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. Thank you.
I didn't know you had such a great voice, Eugenio. Thank you very much. I would like to recognize Marcos y Asociados, who does financial and business development advising in Mexico with focus on the energy industry. They help foreign companies start and operate subsidiaries in the country of Mexico. Please, a round of applause for Marcos and Asociados. Mr. Ernesto Senior, Ernesto Junior, muchas gracias. Okay, I'll be brief. Finally, Mr. Jeff Spencer is the president of the Petroleum History Institute nationwide here in the US. I would like to invite him to the podium. He is going to say some words.
Okay, I definitely won't be singing, you don't have to worry about that. I'm really proud to represent the Petroleum History Institute. We have a symposium every year, Oil History Symposium, and I met Marco at one about 7 years ago, and we've encouraged him to pursue his interest in the Mexican oil field photography. My interest is also in oil field photography, so we have a mutual interest there. We're to encourage him to do some publishing with some of these photographs. I'd love to see these out in a book someday. And it's great that he and Mr. Hale got together and put a lot of these exhibits together, and we appreciate everybody attending, and we are proud to have Marco as part of our group. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jeff, for all you've done for us. Finally, I would like to recognize a great team. What you see here on display is the product of a team effort. And I have so many people that I have to thank and acknowledge tonight. Please, I apologize in advance for any omission, but I'm going to try to mention some of my, support team, my collaborators, my staff advisors. First, Marta Villasana, General Coordinator of this event. Mr. Stephen Fox. Mr. Stephen Fox is the preeminent architecture historian from Rice University. He has been a mentor, an advisor, a guide during this process. He took the time to write a very nice piece, a commentary that you can pick up on the pedestal. Ms. Elvira del Campo de Tasea, she's also helped us a lot. Mr. Nick Geist, a great editor, videographer. Mr. Sergio Garcia, a great videographer here. Olga Cavia from the Houston Huelva Association, Sister Cities Association. Anik the Cuke, Photo Fest. Obviously, the magic hand that made this possible, Miss Sally Sprout, gallery manager. Please, a round of applause. I'd like to recognize some distinguished guests. Mr. Gordon Kwan here, former council member Gordon Kwan, immigration attorney, now the chairman of the management district in the East End. He was the first person that I talked to regarding Houston Tampico. That was back 15, 16 years ago. Thank you very much, Gordon. Great having you here. The council, Houston First, you don't have anybody from Houston First? Okay, we have Mr. Carlos Talancon, Secretary of Economic Development of the Government of the State of Tamaulipas. Please, a round of applause for Carlos Talancon. We have Edmundo Gonzalez from Mexico and a whole team of from Mexico. Edmundo, are you still around? Okay, well, he was here shortly. And like I said, I apologize if I, omitted any of your names. Mr. Tom Hale here. Tom Hale has been a terrific partner and collaborator. Becky Himes from the British American Business Council. This 60% of the materials that you see here on display were researched and are archived in the UK. So we thank the British community here, the Consul General, and the business community, the British business community who has supported us so much. Mr. Jose Luis Garcia, President of the Mexican Association of Petroleum Geologists. He's in transit, he's on his way, but I would like to recognize him as well. So without further ado, thank you very much. Enjoy the party, and thank you for being here. I would like to invite